What is the best bank for first-time homebuyers? It's a question I get. Where do I need to go to get the lowest interest rate, the lowest fees, and the best customer service? Well, in this video, we're going to be going over those very questions specific for first-time homebuyers. What's up guys, Tyler here, the real estate guy here in Omaha, Nebraska, helping you make better real estate decisions. And today, giving you an inside look on first-time homebuyer banks. What do you need to know about them and how do you navigate this mind-blowing, huge industry of lending? And guys, if this is your first time here, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you're even thinking about making a move or buying a home, please reach out. We have people from all over the country that are calling us, reaching out to us, and I absolutely love it. But without further ado, let's get into the video. About every day, I get a lender that reaches out soliciting their services, trying to get me to give my buyers, my first-time home buyers, over to them. Guys, this is a big deal because I take it serious when I'm working with a first-time home buyer. You've never gone through this process before. You're leaning in on me to guide you, and I just don't want to give you to anybody. So what do you need to look for when you're considering a bank? Well, first off, guys, it is very, very, very common for a first-time home buyer to say, oh, well, I bank at First National. I bank at US Bank. I'm just going to go over to them because they know me. No, don't do that. The reality is that they bank on that and you tend to not get the best deals at the current bank you're at unless they actually have the best interest rates in town. And guys, interest rates vary all over the place. Unless it's a very, very, very small bank, that whole community friendly family, I'm gonna put my foot out for you. It isn't that way. There's no handshake deal anymore. It's, I need to see all your financials. I need you to give me your child and your bank, everything. They want to know everything, and for the right reasons. They need to protect themselves as well. But there's three things that I want you to look for to make sure that you are going with the right bank, okay? First off, let's start by looking at local banks, not national banks. Stay away from the national banks at first. Go to the local banks in town and try it and look for these three things. Number one is, what is their interest rate? Where is their interest rate at when it comes to getting a loan? Now, this is going to be based on your credit score. So as you're talking to different banks, go to each bank and say, hey, I have a credit score that's at 720. What kind of interest rate can you give me with a credit score of about 720? And they're going to tell you. They want to earn your business, so they're going to try to do their best. Now, take that information and now go talk to another bank and another bank and another bank and find out which bank is going to give you the lowest interest rate. Now, here in town, there are a couple banks that I work with. Check out this video right here if you want to check out Costco, which surprisingly enough, Costco has a loan program that is pretty phenomenal, and I would definitely check it out if you have a Costco membership. Next we have is bank fees. Bank fees are normal because the bank has to make money some way, somehow. And typically, this is how it's broken down. We have three areas that bank fees are typically put in. You have your origination fee, you have your processing fee, and then you have your underwriting fee. Every bank is going to be different and the amount of these fees vary. In some states, it's allowed for banks to roll their fees into the loan, meaning that when you look at your interest rate compared to the APR, that number is going to be higher than some other places. So the APR is the actual, with everything thrown into the loan, all the fees, they're going to give you an APR number. The higher the APR number, typically the more fees that there were when you got that loan. And then three we have is customer service. Customer service for me is a deal breaker. I deal with lenders every single day and I want response time. I want clear communication. I want somebody to say, yes, this is going to happen, and it actually happens. And obviously, you're not going to know that before you actually buy a house. So having a realtor to guide you through that process is going to be essential for them to give you a recommendation. Now, in addition to these three things that we talked about when we're looking for a bank, we're also looking specifically for maybe something that will help first-time home buyers. Now, most banks are not only going to do first-time home buyers. They're going to do every type of loan. It wouldn't make sense for them just to allow services for first-time home buyers. However, there are some banks that are more friendly when it comes to a first-time home buyer getting a loan. And when I say more friendly, we're talking about down payment assistance. Down payment assistance is going to cost you by having a higher interest rate, but maybe that's what you're looking for. Maybe you don't have the down payment money. You don't have the $7,000, $10,000 for a $200,000 home that you may be looking for. So you're looking for a bank that's going to help you out in this area. Well, when you're talking with banks, the first thing that you're going to ask, in addition to these three questions of what's your interest rate, what are your fees, what's your customer service like, and get, third-party recommendations on those customer service, but you're also going to ask, what programs do you have specifically for first-time home buyers? Some banks are not going to have anything. Some banks are going to have a lot. And you're going to want to make sure you talk with these banks and find out what those programs are. Now, guys, the secret to all of this is that when you're talking to the different banks, they're going to give you a cost sheet that's going to be with estimates that they put in there. We don't want that, because you're not going to be able to compare apples to apples. When you're talking to one bank and then another bank, they may have a really low insurance for homeowners insurance, and they may have really low taxes but high insurance. So you want to make sure you're comparing apples to apples, and this is how you do it. When you're talking with the bank, you're going to ask them just to give you a cost sheet based on a purchase price of, let's just say, $200,000. Then you're going to say that the taxes for this property are going to be, $3,000, and then your insurance is going to be $1,200 a month. Whatever that number is, make sure that every bank is doing those same estimates, because those change your monthly payment. It also changes what you're actually going to have to bring to closing. So when you're doing this, guys, make sure you're comparing apples to apples between the different banks so you get an accurate comparison to know which bank is the best bank for a first-time home buyer. Now, guys, if you want to know more on the mistakes that you need to make sure you avoid, check out this video right here where I go over the biggest mistakes first-time home buyers make and what you need to make sure you avoid when you're buying your first home. And if you want more information on the actual cost of buying a home, check out the video below where I go over the very beginning to the very end, the actual cost of the whole process beginning to end for buying a home. And then lastly, guys, if you like or would like our free buyer's guide, check out in the description below our free buyer's guide for every season of the year. We're constantly updating to make sure that you have the accurate and most up-to-date information on buying a home in the current market conditions. Guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and that like button if this video was helpful, and put in the comments below the bank that you ended up going with so that we can help as many first-time buyers as possible, that they know where they can look based on the state that you're in. Guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.